Journaling this morning about what I want women that are running a creative business for a few years now to know about showing up online, showing up authentically, building visibility the feminine way. And I do think that the biggest difference between some content creators that are so good at spending hours writing scripts and editing complex YouTube videos and the business owners running beauty salons, graphic design, photography, or a wellness, beautiful membership space is the way we operate. And as an intuitive women, we are just not meant to follow marketing the same way as other people can seamlessly just follow those advice. And if you're here listening and you're thinking, I just want to be more visible to my dream clients, well, let me tell you this. Showing up online the same way everyone tells you to do it with the hooks and the complicated research and the ideas is not the best way to align with your people. Because you're like me. You're intuitive. You love feeling into something before you make a purchase decision. You love walking into a space that makes you feel like it was made just for you. You love waking up in the morning and asking yourself, what do I do today? What's on my agenda? You're not someone that's following a rigid structure in all areas of your life. And don't get me wrong, you're not living this soft life. You love going hard and challenging yourself and having intensity and bringing amazing systems and operations in your business, but not from a place of force when your intuition tells you to. And I think I saw it for the first time when I think I was listening to this woman that built was it Spanx? Forgot. But anyway, she said that a lot of her decisions were gut feelings. And many of the women leading really successful businesses say that some of their decisions did not make sense to the investors. They didn't make sense to the people that are looking just at the numbers because some decisions are just bigger than logic. They also imply a feeling, something is here for me, an intuitive nudge. And that's why even though I guide my clients to build businesses that are grounding their nervous system, that they can count on, they can trust it, they can trust their team, they can trust their offers, they can trust their clientele, things are flowing and they're supported. There's a strong masculine balance. When it comes to showing up and putting ourselves out there, I really go back to fully owning your magnetic energy and showing up actually intuitively. Because you know how to work a room in person. Have you seen yourself? You walk into a room and you're naturally telling stories and magnetic and attracting people, and people want to talk to you and they want to take your number. And there's a natural ease to being yourself in person. And so why is it that when you go online, you're trying to appear a certain way? It is so easy to fall into traps. It's so easy to start believing that one way is better than the other. But I truly believe that intuitive women are not meant to plan everything. You're meant to live your best life, to run your business, to have those transformation with your clients, to have those insights midday and storytell in real time. And that's why I want to go back to building brands unscripted, especially for magnetic, creative, intuitive women. Asking yourself, what is the broader vision of what I'm creating? Having a North Star vision in your mind, and that's why visualization is so important. So looking at what am I truly building? And I always like to bring it back to a big movement for visualization purposes. You might not ever want to be a speaker or a keynote. You might never want to have a Netflix special in front of 10,000 people. But putting yourself in that context allows you to see, what does my heart want to create as a ripple effect at scale? Because there's an energy to the world you're building. And if we look at it with first our vision, right? We have our North Star vision of where we're guiding ourselves, asking ourselves, what is the true movement I'm creating? The way I'm shaping belief change, the way I'm shaping behavior change, the way I'm shaping perspectives so that people can feel more ease, more joy, more fulfillment, more empowerment. Every single business owner is serving people to feel better in a way or another, right? We're all rooting for each other's well-being in a way. And what is your contribution to that wave of people participating in what you're creating? Do you want people to be fit because it changed your life with your kids? Do you want people to be fully empowered in their finances because you have a background in accounting and it just lights you up? Like, what is it that is your unique way to lift people, to elevate them? For me, when I put it into words, sometimes I got entangled in it has to be said in a certain way. But the essence of your message doesn't have to be always said the same way. This is going back to write it down. It's black, ink on white paper. It has to be this way. But you're communicating an energy, a feeling, and it's okay to say it slightly differently depending on what's coming up for you in that moment. Back to unscripted, right? So if I was to tell you today what I'm building a movement of women that are running incredible businesses the feminine way. They are prioritizing their well-being, prioritizing their freedom, trusting their intuition, running something that is running so beautifully well, but their boundaries are held. They know exactly who it's for. They know their clients they're working with. They're paid highly for gifts that are hard to measure with just logic, right? And so this requires authority and sovereignty, self-worth, knowing yourself, knowing what you're here to do, owning your voice, moving with an energy of certainty. And if I tell you tomorrow, I might use slightly different words, but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. People will pick up on your energy even if you change the words. And that's why this obsession online over positioning and messaging and doing it a certain way, I think it's because we're trying to land on the right way. We're trying to box ourselves in one perfect mold. And even though it's tailored to you, and if you're listening, I'm doing air quotes, if you're on the podcast right now, even though it's kind of tailored to you, it's also restrictive. And that's why I like to see it more as a visual world where things and concepts can flow and make sense to the energy and to your own growth. I don't like when creators are coming to me 5 years after building, a certain platform and thinking it doesn't feel like me anymore and I'm kind of stuck here. I don't know how to go from here. I don't know how to make it more maybe energetic or spiritual, or I don't know how to bring in this new aspect of motherhood in that wasn't there before. As we change, as we grow, as we evolve, if we're boxed in, if we accidentally created a trap for ourselves, which some people will call a niche, we might feel restricted. And there is nothing less magnetic than a woman that is restricted in her energy, in her power, in her essence. Multi-layered allows you to build a world, allows you to build a world that can hold everything that makes sense for the way you lead, for the way you're building, for your business you're creating. And so I would love first to invite you to just notice within, where have I created some traps for myself? Where I've been boxed in certain schedules, beliefs, mold, structure, rigid frameworks of marketing that just have been draining me, fully honest, and haven't been giving me the attraction point to my dream clients. Because when your energy is filtered, it's also distorted, which means that your people might not be able to feel you. And when you're unleashing your full self, when you're unleashing your true energy, when you're just like, you know what? This is me. Today I'm this, tomorrow I'm this, but I'm still me. And all of it makes sense in the world that I'm building. All of a sudden, there is no distortion. And the magnetic energy you bring in person is now with you online. And so we first need to notice where the traps of smallness are. In the way we see ourselves, in the way we show up, in the way we've been following strategies and molds and routines, and come back to inner authority of creativity. Who are you when you're not restrained? What do you have to say when you're just flowing with the day? How can you storytell the things that are already happening in your business? Your clients are winning, things are happening, things are beautiful. You know how transformative what you do is. So why not just say it as it is? I understand it might appear noisy online, but the people that are meant to find you will always find their way to you once you speak your truth, once you say things your way, once you realize that this is a playground that is yours to build. And of course, we can be intuitively wise, right? We can look at what way could I share this idea? that excites me? How could I put my creativity on this dot and make it juicier, right? We can be playful, but on paper, not whilst we're scrolling and comparing, whilst we're sitting with ourselves, whilst we're mapping out the world we're building, whilst we're realizing that there is no blueprint for what we're creating. So might as well create it truly from scratch, truly from within, truly from our own desire, our own vision, the kind of circle we're creating, the kind of movement we're building, the way we're leading people forward. Come back to your inner authority. Come back to your inner creativity and ask yourself, what am I here to build? Because once the world you build is bigger than the small ideas you've restricted yourself to so far, you'll realize that you can never run out of content ideas. Any women coming to me saying, I don't know what to post, I don't know how to share this, I don't know how to talk about my offer, all I see is restriction. All I see is accidental mold you've fallen into, accidental traps. Because once we really speak out loud what the world is, it is a limitless space of expansion and creativity. It is a limitless space of sharing your message in different ways, not trying to hit it right and say it right, but just saying what it means for you and letting it be an organic matter of growth. Like it's a plant, it's not a stone. It grows with you, it's evolving with you. You get to nourish it and nurture it, but you get to let it grow. Let it run free in a way. So intuitive women are meant to find a new way to show up by listening, turning inwards, and breaking free from all those little constriction and molds that you have accidentally fallen into. And I've fallen into traps myself. I've been online for almost 10 years now, actually for 10 years. And I've fallen into so many traps. And even though I've always wanted to be in my authority and building things my way, sometimes you don't even notice you're stuck in those traps. And that's why mentorship is so powerful, and having someone advising you to the direction of your business, to where to take it, because you have a mirror. And the reason I also moved away from using coaching as much as I'm now using advisory is because I see your vision. Like when you're giving me your chaos and all that swirling in your mind, I see the world you're building, and I can help you put words to it so that you know how to show up freely and you're not restricted in your own energy. The woman that is magnetic in person is meant to be magnetic online, and it begins by claiming back your voice, owning it fully, and showing up your way. So if you're boxed in right now, let's break those boxes and let's give you full space to create something epic where you feel safe to show up your way every day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to the beach now. I felt the pull to have an early day. So I'm going to go swim and journal and read and see what ideas arise for me. I'm having my best business ideas always when I'm not doing business. So I'm going to go to the beach and see what arises today for me. It might be something, it might be nothing. But empty space is so important, and that's why protecting your schedule so that you have space to be creative, to be offline, is one of the first thing I do with any single woman I work with on growing their business. If we don't have empty space, we're accidentally trapped in a race. And so first we give space, then we recenter, and then we create forward. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.